Hey you all, this is Brian, and you are watching the Dark Age channel.
Ever wondered what it would be like to live in a world where the unthinkable has happened and society as we know it has collapsed? Many people believe the first 90 days are critical. Picture this. One moment, life is bustling along as usual, and then in the blink of an eye, everything changes. It's a scenario straight out of a Hollywood flick or a video game in a post-apocalyptic setting. But what if it became our reality? The coup-off in 2020 taught us that the world can turn upside down unexpectedly, leaving us grappling with unprecedented challenges. In this video, we'll talk about how we can survive the first 90 days of an SHTF scenario. Without further ado, let's get to it. Early stage calm and realization. First 24 to 72 hours. Alright, let's chat about those first 24 to 72 hours after a big societal shakeup. The kind where everything we know gets flipped on its head. It's like the calm before the storm, but with a twist. You know, when something huge goes down, initially there's this strange sense of calm. People are kinda in this daze, just emerging from their homes or shelters, trying to figure out what just hit them. It's like the whole world's holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. In these early hours, there's a lot of faith in the system. We're all thinking, okay, any minute now, the government, emergency services, they're gonna swoop in, set things right. We've seen it in movies, right? The heroes come in, save the day, all that jazz. But here's the kicker. What if they don't come? By the end of day 2, reality starts to sink in. Stores can't sell stuff because their systems are down. ATMs? Forget about it. And that just-in-time delivery that keeps our shelves stocked? Yeah, not happening. This is when you start seeing panic buying. People are realizing, hey, we might be on our own here, and that's when things get real. So, by the 72-hour mark, it's a whole new ballgame. If stores aren't already looted, it's about to go down. This is crunch time. If you've prepped in advance, good on you. You can avoid the chaos. If not, well, you're in the middle of a mad dash for resources. We're talking curfews, maybe even martial law. It's a total shift from that initial calm to a every person for themselves vibe. Preparing and deciding whether to stay or leave. So you're faced with the big question in a disaster scenario. Do you hunker down where you are, or do you hit the road and find a safer spot? It's like choosing between a rock and a hard place. But here's the deal. Making this call early is key. Let's break it down. You've got a 24-hour window, tops. This is your golden chance to act before everyone else figures out what's going down. First things first, water. Fill up every container you can lay your hands on because, trust me, running water might become a luxury real quick. Those big tanks on the hills, they're not going to refill themselves if the grid's down. Now let's talk about your ride. If you're planning to bug out, you'll want to gas up your vehicle ASAP. Long lines at the pump are a no-go when you're racing against time. And if you're thinking of making a store run, cash is king plastic won't cut it if the systems are down. Here's the tricky part, deciding whether to stay put or leave. It's all about sizing up your situation. Is your current spot safe enough to ride out the chaos? Do you have enough supplies to last a while? If the answer's yes, then maybe staying put is your best bet. But if you're unsure, then bugging out early is the way to go. Remember, after those first 24 hours, roads will get jammed, and you don't want to be stuck in a sea of people trying to escape. So, think fast, act faster. Whether you stay or go, the key is having a plan and executing it before everyone else is doing the same thing. End of week 1. Deteriorating conditions. By the end of the first week after things have hit the fan, you're looking at a whole different world. It's like walking into a scene where everything's topsy-turvy. Now we're talking about empty shelves in stores, long-gone supplies, and pharmacies that look like they've been through a hurricane. Yeah, that's right. Whatever was there is now in someone's panic room, or worse, looted. Hospitals? Overrun. Don't bank on waltzing in and getting help like it's a regular Tuesday. And the cops and firefighters? They're swamped. There's just too much going down for them to handle. This is when you start hearing whispers of martial law, the government trying to keep a lid on the chaos. But let's be real, not everyone's going to take kindly to that. Neighborhoods start to get this Wild West vibe. People are setting up their own rules, and it's all about protecting your own. If you thought you could just chill and wait this out, think again. We're seeing clean water becoming a maybe. And don't get me started on the trash situation. It's piling up, and so is the tension. Power? a distant memory. And those who need their meds are in a real tough spot. It's like everything that kept our society running smoothly just stopped. Cash? It's not doing much good now. We're moving into a world where what you have in your pantry or your skill set matters most. Week 2. Increased crime and resource scarcity. By the time week 2 rolls around in our post-disaster world, things start getting real gritty. Think of it as the moment in a movie when the initial shock wears off and survival mode kicks in big time. By now, the stores? They're not just empty, they're ghost towns all looted out. And pharmacies? Forget about finding any meds there. Crime's not just a news headline anymore. It's right on your doorstep. We're talking looting, and not just the grab and dash kind. It's the survival of the fittest kind of scene. Remember those community vigilante groups we joked about? Well, they're not so funny now. Neighborhoods are turning into fortresses, with people doing whatever it takes to protect their turf and their canned beans. Roads are no man's land now, littered with abandoned cars. If you thought you could pack up and leave, that ship has sailed. The streets are too risky, and besides, where are you going to go with all that chaos out there? People who got stranded are just now limping back home, only to find their neighborhoods turned into something out of a dystopian novel. Hospitals, police, fire services, they're stretched thinner than a dollar store napkin. If you're thinking you can rely on them, you're in for a rude awakening. And martial law? It's not just a threat anymore. It's a reality in many places. Week 3 and beyond. Community dependence. When you hit week 3 in our not-so-fun apocalypse scenario, things shift gears. Now, it's all about your crew, your community. It's like in those old westerns where the town bands together against outlaws, except it's your neighborhood, and the outlaws are anyone outside your circle. At this point, seeing a car cruising down the street or a plane in the sky is like spotting a unicorn. If you do see a car, it's probably trouble on wheels. Any hopes of normalcy, like the government swooping in to save the day, are pretty much out the window. You're in it for the long haul, and it's all about community muscle now. Marauders and looters? They're the real deal and a constant threat. You've got to keep your group tight, because venturing out solo is like being a sitting duck. You need to stick together like glue and have each other's backs. Everyone in your crew needs to pull their weight. Got someone who's ex-military or a former cop? They're on security detail? Anyone with medical know-how? Congrats, you're the new doc. This isn't the time to be shy about what you can do. Your skills are your currency. Food, water, safety, it's all a group effort now. You can't be the lone wolf and expect to make it. If you've got a stash of food, it's not just yours anymore. It's about sharing, bartering, and making sure everyone gets through this together. This is where those community bonds are tested. Can you work together or will it fall apart? In this new world, your neighborhood isn't just where you live. It's your lifeline. It's still about survival, sure, but it's also about rebuilding something that resembles a society piece by piece. First 2 months, long-term survival and community building. As you roll into the first couple of months after everything's gone sideways, it's a whole new ballgame. Now, we're not just talking about getting through the day, it's about digging in for the long haul. This is when you realize that those survival shows on TV weren't just for entertainment, they were practically training videos. By now, your neighborhood's more than just a bunch of houses. It's a mini fortress. It's all about banding together, pooling resources, and making those tough calls. Food and water, they're like gold. And if you were smart enough to stock up, you're one of the lucky ones. But don't get too comfy, it's about rationing, making every can of beans and every drop of water count. The community vibe is strong, but it's not all kumbaya. Tough decisions are being made. Who does what? Who gets what it's like creating a mini society from scratch? And trust me, it's not always pretty. You've got to figure out how to work with folks you might not have said 2 words to before all this went down. The reality is, being a lone wolf isn't going to cut it. You need people for protection, for pooling skills, for keeping each other sane. And it's not just about what you've got, it's about what you know. Sharing knowledge, teaching each other, that's what's going to get you through. Post 3-month scenario. Once you hit that 3-month mark post-disaster, it's like stepping into a whole new reality. Any lingering thoughts of a quick fix or a return to the good old days are long gone. This is the new normal, and it's nothing like what we used to know. By this time, seeing any sign of government or authority is more of a shock than a relief. And if they do show up, it's not with open arms and aid. It's more about control and power. Communities have morphed into their own little kingdoms, each one guarding its resources like a dragon with its treasure. It's less about, we're all in this together, and more about us versus them. If you're still in a city or a populated area, chances are it's because you've got nowhere else to go, or you've become part of whatever power structure's taken over. The landscape's changed big-time. Neighborhoods have emptied out, with folks either bailing to find better luck elsewhere, or, well, not making it. Now, talking about the toll this kind of scenario takes, it's grim. A lot of people just aren't cut out for this level of hardcore survival. We're seeing the elderly, and those with health issues being the first to suffer. And it's not just about health, it's violence, hunger, the whole 9 yards. For those still standing, it's about adapting to this new world. Small communities might start banding together, sharing what they've got, and trying to rebuild some semblance of society. But it's a far cry from what we used to call civilization. It's more about survival of the fittest. And if you're not fit, well, you get the picture.